Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we're going to be featuring battles that I did using those Driftblim slash Skeledirge, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, team featuring a Tapu Fini lead. I did reach veteran with this team. I went 17-13 overall, so pretty solid. This was a really difficult team to run though, but had some absolutely incredible battles. So if you're looking for a fun team, this is the one. If you're looking one that's gonna be easy to navigate, probably not the one. So someone as skilled as though can definitely make this work. So anyways, Jellicent is one of the core breakers for this team. Driftblim and Tapu Fini do okay against Skeledirge, does quite poorly versus it since Incinerate are resisted. I do go throw Moonblast right away because out right before the 7th hex, and I do get the move off. They are at 8 hexes now. And so then for the Shadow Ball, they need 2 more hexes to reach the next Shadow Ball. And they do throw right away. I contemplate shielding here, and I let it go. And I come into Driftblim. They actually switch right into Steelix. I am going to throw the Mythical Fire. This is a pretty good matchup since I am dealing super effective damage with the Mythical Fires, and we are both debuffing each other. It's going to let this go. And gonna switch now that they're debuffed. I don't have to shield since this breaking swipe is debuffed. And then I will go for the Shadow Ball. I gotta do 2 here, which I think is okay. No, poor timing. I don't know. 5 versus 3 is so difficult to do, and they decide to throw right away here. They actually end up surviving the Shadow Ball by quite a bit. And I'm gonna look to farm down, and I throw the Disarming Voice, hoping to get a shield because they almost certainly would survive it. This is enough for the Surf. I am going to switch here. Switch to Driftblim. And I will let this go or shield this. I let this go because it's just a Surf. And I'm going to look to farm this all the way down, which I am able to farm down. Let's see what comes in. Ends up being a Scrafty here. This opponent makes an absolutely beautiful play. I should have made a better prediction here, but you'll see in a little bit here. Steelix is still alive. Actually, at a pretty decent amount of health. I do 3, then throw. They are looking to counter me all the way down. And I'm hoping to reach a 3rd one or 4th one here. And I do reach the move. And they are going to, unfortunately, counter me all the way down. They're probably doing only 1 HP of damage. I'm so close to the move here. I do get the sneak, but then the opponent makes a really nice play here by catching it onto Steelix. I had to make a decision on whether or not they were going to catch there or not, and they make a really nice play. I tried to no bubble here, but the Steelix has just a little bit too much energy. I probably would have survived the breaking swipe, maybe. The Steelix almost certainly would have made it to breaking swipe. So it would have been really close there, but nicely played by the opponent. So I don't mind losing that game there. Well, I don't mind losing any particular game, but really well played by the opponent, making a beautiful catch. And then we go Tapu Fini into Poliwrath. This is a good lead here, but does get a little bit uncomfortable if they decide to shield. So I let this go. They went to 9 or 8, I should say. And so I throw the Moonblast right away here. Probably could have farmed up a little bit more. Say no shield, and they actually do end up no shielding. And they come into Sylveon, which this is a very good lead. A very good switch in for Skeledirge, since I do resist charm. And we are going to no shield because the only neutral move they have is Psyshock, which isn't that strong of a move. And I will farm them down, and we'll see what comes in. Let's see. Ends up being a Grand Ball here. I go for the Shadow Ball. Honestly, I probably could just thrown the Disarming Voice and almost certainly we're going to shield. And I switch out into Driftblim. I am going to shield this, though the crunch does more. I don't want to get charmed down. Though there's like almost no way I can lose this match here. And I'm going to throw the Shadow Ball into this Grand Ball. And this is going to do quite a bit of damage. I am going to shield the Crunch. But honestly, I could also no shield it and Water Gun down or Incinerate down. It doesn't really matter here. But I do end up winning the second game there. And we're going to have Tapu Fini into Obscune. Another good lead here. This is exactly where I want to see it because this thing would be very problematic for my backline. Though I do have Dazzling Gleam, not Dazzling, Disarming Voice for it. And I throw right before they make it to a gunk shot, which is at, I guess I threw it right before the 11th counter. And they decide to no shield and they decide to leave the match. Probably a Charizard in the back, if I had to guess. And they were trying to make a prediction that I was gonna bait there. All right, and we're gonna go into this fourth game. And we're gonna have Tapu Fini into Dragonite. Let's pick up so many good leads with Tapu Fini. But the problem is if they switch here, then I'm in a lot of trouble, which is what I ran into a little bit later on the stream. I am gonna throw the Surf Bait because the Moonblast would one-shot here. And they end up shielding. And I'm waiting for them to superpower. 2 superpower doesn't KO at this health range. And I was expecting them to catch, so that's why I didn't throw right away. And then let's see what they want to do here. They come into Cobalion, and I'm going to switch out into Skeledirge. I don't know how to pronounce that. Anyways, I'm going to have to shield this potential Stone Edge. They end up baiting me. I will throw the Shadow Ball. This doesn't KO. And I'm going to have to farm them down afterwards. I will shield again, I think. We'll shield again. Because Stone Edge does do quite a bit of damage. And then here comes Dragonite. I will throw the Disarming Voice. I'll survive the Dragon Claw. And I'm going to look to throw another Disarming Voice to take out this. And they catch onto Charizard. That's totally fine for me. I'm going to switch to Tapu Fini. I'm going to do a couple Water Guns here, not to give them a free wing attack. So I can get as much damage as possible with this Tapu Fini. Get a few more Water Guns in, and then I'm going to look to farm down with Driplim. I can easily survive a Shadow Ball. This is not too big a deal. And they already dumped their energy onto Skeledirge with the Dragonite, so I'm going to be able to easily make it to the Shadow Ball and take out this Dragonite. Okay. All right, we're going to go into this fifth and final game in this first set, and we have Tapu Fini into a Alolan Sandslash. Pretty neutral matchup, doing neutral Water Guns, neutral Shadow Claws, neutral Drill Runs. I do end up shielding. And I will farm up. Okay, no, actually, will not farm up. I'll throw right away. The Surf into the Sandslash, so they're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will let this go. And then I'm going to farm up a little bit here. They come into Giratina. I'm going to throw the Moonblast. I actually think they let this go. I'm going to force them to throw with the Giratina. And then I'm going to look to farm down with Drifblim. They will make it to another move. I choose a shield here. Maybe not the correct play here because the Shadow Sneak is a pretty weak move. I would be able to survive, but I am going to farm all the way down. And they come into Sandslash. I will throw the Mythical Fire. And they let it go. And they come into Charizard. I will throw the Shadow Ball. And I'm in a pretty good spot right now. They end up shielding. I switch out into Skeledirge. And it doesn't really matter here. I would survive this. I throw the Shadow Ball right away. But maybe it was smarter for me to do one Incinerate then throw. I'm not sure here. Probably Probably, yeah, almost certainly. But I was able to farm down anyways and take out the Charizard. The Shadow Ball does quite a bit of damage to Shadow Charizard. And go 4-1, that's apparently. Okay. All right. And we're off into this next set here. And we're going to have Tapu Fini into Dragonite, another good lead for me. We're going to see how they're going to play this out. Oh, they come into Golisopod here, and Golisopod so bad for me. So bad for me. This is one of the core breakers for this team. I'm waiting for them to throw. Let this move through. Just because it has Shadow Claw and does super effective damage to my back line. I'm going to throw the Surf Bait. But I'm in huge trouble. They actually opt to not shield here. I let this go. And they throw the X-Scissor. It is enough to take me out. And I will come into Drifblim. But this is a very, very tough situation for me. And they come into Registeel. So nice play on their side. I don't know. Nice prediction on their side. And I was, considering they were loaded on Dragonite, I opted no shield this. Did I shield this? I probably should shield this because this probably does more than the Dragon Claw. But honestly, there's not really too much I can do in this situation here. This Dragonite is just going to eat my backline alive. I will throw the Disarming Voice, hoping that they no shield. But honestly, the debuff Zap Cannon. I could also just stayed and try to get a shield from the Registeel, but it was going to be a pretty tough situation there. They throw the Dragon Claw. They will reach another one beforehand. And I'm going to bait here, but they're just going to be able to take me out. They catch it onto Registeel, but I'm just going to get locked on down. I tried to double up there, but I'm not going to be enough there. So nicely played by the opponent. Going to go Tapu Fini into Deoxys, and I will switch out right away. This game, I probably should have lost if they would have played it safer on their side. They end up letting me throw the Shadow Ball into Greninja. This is the move I want to throw anyways. And I will be able to survive this Night Slash. Does do some pretty good amount of damage. And I will bait here. I don't know if like bait is the right word to use here, but anyways, I do throw the Mythical Fire. Does significantly less than the... I actually thought it would survive this move because I debuff them, but I don't. I come into Tapu Fini. I'm going to look to a Water Gun all the way down. They throw the Hydro Cannon. They make a nice play here by combo playing me. I will shield this. Switch out into Skeledirge. And unfortunately, Shadow Ball does actually not KO. I thought it would. I almost certainly thought it would. But does not. And the next Incinerate does not KO either. They throw the Thunderbolt. But they will make it to the Psycho Boost here. I let this go because this Greninja is going to make it to a move. Or has a move, I should say. So I will need to farm it down. Shield this. And take it out. And they come into Wall Rain. So I will do one Incinerate, then throw. And then I'm going to do one Incinerate and throw again. And I just need to get the Disarming Voice because then it... just to get the Disarming Voice here, then I will be able to make it to the move. I probably should have stayed here because the farm down would have been pretty tough for them. And then this Moonblast will put them very low on their Wall Rain. They need an Earthquake and an Icicle Spear to take me out at this health, which they're just not going to be able to reach. All right, we're going to pick up an okay lead here. It's pretty neutral. They resist Water Guns, but the Moonblast would deal super effective damage. They throw at 8 here, I believe. And they come into their own Tapu Fini, and this is kind of where I want to see Tapu Fini anyways. And I will throw the Moonblast. And I try to catch. Maybe I mistimed my catch there. Anyways, I'm going to completely sack this Skeledirge. Gonna attempt to make a move here, but this Guillotine is also too loaded here, so I'm gonna let this go. I'm gonna farm down with Drifblim, but I'm in a very tricky situation here. And I will shield this Moonblast, which they'll just barely make it. It would do quite a bit of damage. And the opponent makes a really nice play here. I bait them with 2 shields up. I guess they would survive the Shadow Ball. Yeah, they will end up surviving the Shadow Ball. But maybe I should have Shadow Ball here right away. I thought they were dry, but they actually end up making to another Shadow Sneak here. And yeah, this is very not good for me. Because what was in the back ends up being a Verzion. So it was a very gutsy no call by them. I guess they would have survived there, so maybe it's not the worst. Anyways, attempt to catch, I guess I do catch the Leaf Blade here. But I'm going to get KO'd anyways, and this Verzion is going to be able to take me out. It's unfortunately taken out by a Verzion. Even double debuffed here, the Leaf Blade is enough to KO. All right, we pick up Swampert into Tapu Fini into Swampert. This is an okay matchup, pretty neutral. They do go straight for the Earthquake. I end up shielding. I will go up to the Moonblast and then bait with the Surf, because I will be able to make it to double Surf. And then actually decide to catch, preserve the energy. They will throw the Earthquake here. And then here comes Zapdos. So the Zapdos actually decides to throw the Drill Peck here. They only did 6 Thunder Shocks, so it's enough for the Drill Peck. I actually end up surviving the Drill Peck and surviving the 6 Thunder Shocks and making it to another move here. Just barely, whatever, rank 2 Driplim coming through, and I make it, and then I come into Skeledirge. I'm assuming that they Drill Peck because my Tapu Fini's pretty low. Is it not? No, it's actually not that low. So I end up CMP tying them on the move here, and this Disarming Voice is going to be enough to take them out. And they decide to lead the match there, which worked out pretty nicely for me. All right, Ampharos is absolutely terrible for me. I should have did one more Water Gun there. All right, so I throw the Surf. And I expect them to have Brutal Swing, so I'm not going to shield. They do end up having Brutal Swing. They're going to have to throw again. I was really hoping to survive this Brutal Swing, which I don't end up surviving. And they will make it to the Brutal Swing again. Just so brutal for me. Anyways, pun intended, I suppose. And they come into Muck here. I go for the Shadow Ball. I should have thrown the Disarming Voice. It's more energy efficient, but the Shadow Ball does more damage. They end up throwing on Alignment. I do end up shielding. But honestly, I don't see what the realistic play for me is here. I'm going to be able to farm them down before they make it to a remove. And no shields here. Ampharos is still alive. It's just barely alive. I will throw the Disarming Voice. And they actually make a nice play. And these Incinerators are chunking away. And they do end up making a very nice catch onto the Ampharos. And I'm going to force them to throw. So they do end up throwing the Scald, which is enough to take me out. And then now I just need to straight Shadow Ball them. They throw after 5 here. It's kind of weird timing. I make a call that they're not going to shield. And then I'm going to look to farm up here. And I throw a good timing there. And I actually thought I was going to lose this game. They throw the Ice Punch here and actually make it to the Shadow Ball before they make it to an Ice Punch, apparently. And I'm going to be able to take them out with this Shadow Ball and pick up a very nice win from an Ampharos lead. So anyways, I'm going to leave it there. If you like comment, subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.